To be great. Go when I like switch stays. Go to the stats, so we do is win. Clear this a PSA. Make a drip flex from the TSA. From NY, we taking dubs in every state. I ain't gonna lie, we was broke, now we getting paid. It was hot van, I ain't finding no conflict.
Yeah, Tony Boateng, PSA track.
You know what I like to say. If I wait, start by how finish it, winning, but it's more than a game.
There you go. So, big time. We here for episode 4. I appreciate you guys being on. Y'all see the book. It's going to be a classic, right? It's marketing at its finest. Episode 4 of The Answers. We calling it The Answers. So I got Ishi Mass, 2019. Make sure I get everything right. Esam, over at Coastal Carolina, 2019. Ish at Kansas State. Going to get some buckets this year. We got the young boy, Avery Brown. He over there down the block in Manhattan in Columbia, right? Getting at one of them finer educations, as they say. So the way this thing is going to work is I'm going to lead the show, typical point guard-ish. I'm going to give some questions to you guys. Y'all going to give me the fabulous answers. We're not going to give no soft answers. You got to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you, Isan, what do they say in your country? So help you God.
You said what?
So help you God. So help you God?
I don't know what's going on with that Zoom.
You don't know how you say God in your country.
Munch. You're breaking up. God, Allah.
Allah. Ishmael, what we got?
Allah.
Wallahi.
The truth.
A.B. Brown call it God. Right?
Facts.
So by a show of hands, though, I'm going to hope all you guys cop this book, our PSA. Just put your hand up if you got it. You don't have to have it on you, but you have to have ordered it on Amazon. Ishi's here. Esam, you got a book?
I already know, baby. It's right here.
Big time.
You already know, baby.
Where's my man Avery at?
I'm here.
We having technical difficulties with Avery. You can't see your sexy face. Are you brushing your waves?
Nah, I put the background up, but I'm trying to get in front of it now.
All right, well, you're going to figure it out as we go. We on record, baby. You're going to miss all the action. And you know all the women going to be looking for you, man. That's crazy. First question of the night going to Ishi. Ishi, tell me something you did at PSA that I would not know. Tell me something you did at PSA that I wouldn't know right now.
Damn, what's something I did? Oh,
the better.
Peace Jam, 2018. After we lost, I think it was over already, but we were still there. We had just went to the movies or something. We was all in the room. I don't know if Isam was there with us, but we was all in the room. It's like a legendary video. I broke up with my girl in front of all the guys, and the video is hilarious.
What?
Like, it's legendary. The video is legendary.
Was it on a FaceTime?
Nah, I texted her, but the way I texted her and broke up with her, and like how it all went down is hilarious. Like, I might have to send you the video after this. Like, it's hilarious.
I'm gonna pray that woman not watch this episode 4, man. But that's a real answer. All right, I got it. Yo, Ish, that's tough. You was upset about the loss and you tried to take it out on her. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. All right, Esam, you up, baby? What's one thing? No, it's a different question, Esam.
Okay.
This is not rivals.com. We don't give the same questions. We give them out tonight. Everybody getting different questions. All right, Esam, what is one thing that shocked you about PSA?
It's like, first of all, I feel like you were different, much. Like, you're a different coach to me. Like, I always had those like calm coaches, you know? Like, they calm, they very like chill. They're just like very nice guys. Like, not me saying that you're not nice. You're a great guy. Like, I love you. But the thing is, you was kind of more like a hype coach. Like, it's just the one, the coaches that like, yeah, we got to go crazy the whole time. We got to be hype the whole time. For me, that was like, oh, that's new to me. Like, Egypt is not like that. Even when I went to Luhai, John Buck is like kind of the head of school guy. You know, he was the head of school. So, like, so it's kind of like, it's kind of different. And the team, I feel like the team I was in was crazy too. Like, I see like Cole, Ish, Tyson, James, Booknight, like the team, the names were like, that is crazy. Like, Cole and James in the NBA right now, for me, like to play with them is just like, I was like, okay, that is crazy. And for me, like the level was just like crazy. The whole thing, like I feel like the culture was just very, very good too. Like I didn't expect that from an AAU team because I played in AAU before I come to PSA and my freshman year, and it wasn't the same. Like the culture, the people in it, is just like it was like as a family, and I love that. And that's the most thing, like because you don't get that from an AAU team, like a typical AAU team. You know, they always like, okay, we got together for like 2 months to play the games, then that's it. But no, I feel like PSA just go a long way. Like this is my 4th year in college. I'm still in touch with you, and I'm still in touch with Ish, like Joel and everybody to this day. So that's what amazed me.
What they call it a real life brotherhood, right? Real
Yes,
life
sir. Family.
So I appreciate that's big, man. Shock factor playing with a bunch of talent. All right. You went from being the guy to like one of the role players.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
But they always tell you, do your fucking job, man. Do your job.
It prepared me. It prepared me.
Hey, now you're the guy again, so it all works itself out.
You already know.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I'm watching the stats. Avery Brown.
Yo.
Here's your question, big dog.
What happened?
If PSA was a book, what would the title be and why? If PSA, the program, was a book, what would the title be and why?
Ooh, damn.
Heavy hitter.
Facts, it is a heavy hitter.
PSA Let's go.
What would the title be?
And why?
I would just, damn. Probably like Boys to Men. Like that's you know what I mean. I'll say that would be a good title, Boys to Men.
I like that.
Yeah, I think PSA, you know, takes young black men and young black boys, you know, and turn them to men through every aspect of life. Not even just basketball, but just learning how to connect with people. You know, just the people you meet, creating good relationships with people, networking throughout the PSA program itself. You know, it really prepares you and just turns you to a grown man. And we got a lot of leaders in the program like you, all the coaches, coaching staff, you know, they invest in us and then turn us to young men. You know what I mean? They're not easy on us. So I would say Boys to Men is a good title.
No, that title is fine. That might be my second book. I ain't gonna lie. No copyright.
you write another book?
Yeah, I don't know. Depending on how well this one sounds. If this one sell off the charts, I'm gonna just go back in the jungle and get it done again.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Who knows? It all depends on the success, man. If you're successful, you try it again, right?
Yeah, you already know. I understand that. No problem with it.
We'll check back in about a month and a half and see what's going on with this, right?
No, to be honest though, I like the pictures of it. Like the design of the book is fire. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, Sean, listen. Shout out to Coach Dre. Real talk. Coach Dre did the cover.
That's the goal.
When you look in the book, you're gonna see his name, right? Coach Dre did the cover, front, back, right? Coach Dre. They tell you when you smart, you keep your money in house.
It's fire. No, the graphic is fine. The picture.
Yeah, had to break them off a little bag, but that's the fam, you know. Keep your money in house. He did a great
job too. He did a great job.
Yes, man. It's quality. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's quality. Yeah. You know, sometimes you get the family and they give you some nonsense. He gave me real life quality. You know.
Yep.
So, Ishmael, here's your question, brother. What's one piece of advice you would personally give me now that you're an adult?
What's one piece of advice I give you?
Yep. Now that you're an adult.
One piece of advice I give you, I say, for myself in particular, I feel like you always kept it real, but I would say for myself, in terms of my maturity level, I feel like I would say, obviously, there's a lot of things that go on in the behind the scenes that players don't really understand. But I feel like if you know the kid can handle certain things, I feel like being straight up and telling them certain things that are going on behind the scenes as to why they may not be getting what they want to get, I feel like you could do that with certain kids if they're able to handle it. That's what I would say.
How would I be able to? How would I know they could handle it? Just by noticing them?
I don't know. By knowing them and just knowing how the kid is and how they respond to certain things, I would say.
Phenomenal advice, Ish. I'm gonna try that out, and I'm not gonna lie. That's for real. Isam, how many languages do you speak?
I speak 2, Arabic and English.
All right, can you say munch is sexy in Arabic?
No, I'm not saying that.
Can you say a blessing to our PSA book in Arabic?
Yeah, I can say that.
Go ahead. Let me give me one.
Okay, you know I'm Muslim, right? So I'm gonna pray like I pray Muslim people, guys.
Oh man.
So I say شكرا منش على الكتاب الجميل ده، ربنا يخليك يا رب. انت واحد من الناس اللي علمت ناس كتير وساعدت ناس كتير، وبالنسبه لي كمان ساعدتني، فربنا يوفقك في اللي جاي، والكتاب جميل وربنا يحميك. That's it.
Yo, Isan, that's powerful, and I know you get a lot of women with the switching the languages up. Like that's a whole nother episode, man. All right, so Isan, here's your question. Isan. Right, we're coming over from Egypt during high school. How would you say you were lucky to land at PSA as opposed to any other AAU program?
Very lucky, very lucky. As I said before, like I trained with the AAU team before PSA. I played with the AAU team for like my freshman year before I come to New York, because I was in Florida first for my freshman year. And you just see the jump from like, okay, just people just they don't care about us. They just want to win the games and just like never text us again. Like in the season, they never text us. They never say anything to us. They just want us to get together for a game and go play. And if we lose, they're gonna get mad at us and just leave. And come to PSA, which is like a whole complete different thing. It's just like the feels of the family. They feel like, okay, this guy like actually care like about how good the team and how tight we're supposed to get and like how together we need to become. That was the different thing. I feel like that's what make PSA different than anything else. Like I say, to this day, you're still in contact with me. Like, you know, I won't be back to play for PSA no more, and you know that. But you're still like, okay, I'm still be in touch with that guy. And like even the text you say like out of nowhere, you say like I love you, like out of nowhere. That means like, yeah, it's a little thing, but for me it's like that's family, like that's real love. Like not a lot of people do that to this day, like, and I feel like there's a bless like to be a part of the PSA, because the family thing, like it's not like a 2 or 3 years thing, it's like it's a lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah, when you guys send me that, because Ishmael does it, Avery do it, you do it, Isan. When y'all send me them text messages, wish you well, big homie, hope you good, or I love you, and OG, you good, I get all giggly and start blushing, you know what I mean? And then I get my Incredible Hawk on, and I just be like, I'm about to take over the world now, you know? So keep sending them in, for real.
You already know. It's real though. It's real. Like that's the thing. We're not faking it, because end of the day, like I don't know, like I'm not gonna be able to come back to play for you again. So that's show you that it's real love. Like I don't need nothing from you. You don't need nothing from me. It's just love right now. Yes, and sir. That's what like it's different.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful thing, man. Mm-hmm. Avery Brown, wish we could see you, but hey, you're gonna lose all the girls after this one. All right. So I want you to describe Coach Dre and your relationship while you was at PSA.
Coach Dre. Ooh. Coach Dre was an interesting dude, because prior to PSA, I never talked to him. Mm-hmm. So when I met Coach Dre, it was kind of like, all right, like this dude, he got a lot of energy. I could tell he's invested in the program. Like he loves this. Like he loves PSA and like getting these kids better, and like he wants the best for them. And it was funny because Coach Dre had moved to Connecticut.
Yep.
Coach Dre moved like 10 minutes away from me. So I pulled up on his house one time to see his new crib. And then he had just moved in. They was doing, you know, like they was fixing it up. They had the carpenters in there, all that. So it was funny to pull up on Coach Dre, because I drive by his house all the time. So like little things like that. You know, Coach Dre he's a great dude, man. He's one of those dudes you meet and they just instantly turn into family, because you know he just got good vibrations, and you know he's a down to earth dude. So he was definitely a heavy hitter in the PSA program. PSA wouldn't be you know, much of PSA without him, for sure.
That's a fact. Most people don't be knowing that stuff. So you guys, y'all get a chance to know the guys that most people in the streets don't really know. I'm sure Coach Dre he probably gonna pull up on your game when y'all play like Penn at home. See you in Manchester.
For real though, yeah.
Or you gonna actually probably when you go to Yale and play Jack Malloy, Dre probably pull up.
Exactly. I'm gonna make sure I text him when we play too, so you don't forget that.
You gonna be the one with the fur coat on.
Dre think I'm a model now.
Yeah. All right. So here's a segment when you guys get to ask me one question. Not two, Ishmael, definitely not three. I know everything in your brain is a three. Not three. You get one question. That's it. Kind of like Avery assist turnovers. We got one question each. I'll go with Avery first.
Yeah. I haven't asked you this because when I first had met you, I remember this. One of the first times I met you, and you came to come see me at NMH. You wanted me to come play PSA. First thing you had said, you said you was in the process of writing this book, and that was 4 years ago. So I want to know how was writing this book, and like when did you have time to do it? Because I mean, you're a busy man. You know, like you got a lot of kids to take care of, coaching the program, got to hold the program to a certain standard. How difficult was the process? Creating your story and just telling your story and writing a book while handling everything else.
Yeah, I mean, let me clear that up. First of all, I don't got no biological kids.
Yeah. I mean, us.
I know what you mean. I just want to make sure. I'm just playing. No, I think the process worked for me from it was therapeutic, right? And I'm a person that tries to write in my journal 4 to 5 times a week, and I try to get a lot of thoughts out, right? Where whether it's negative, positive, just things that I see, things that I'm going through, questions that are in my head. It's almost like talking to your therapist, but through a journal entry. And then with doing COVID, I feel like a lot of people were trying to find different things to do. And my journal basically turned into the book, right? So the time that I allowed it daily to write in my journal for like an hour, when we were all going through COVID, I would take that same time and literally just write down what you guys are reading now in the book. So it would be different topics that are going through my brain that I went through, I felt, close friends of mine, different relationships, and just stuff I'm seeing in society. So the fluid part was just writing it from what was natural to me. The complicated part became when it was like, all right, well, it's time to decide on how you want to get it published. If you want to go to a big publishing company, do you want to do your own thing? So I felt in control while I was writing it because it wasn't like I had a deadline. It's not like somebody was on my back. No one dictated my topics, anything like that. And the structure of it, like as you guys read it, you see there's no other books with that type of structure. And it wasn't necessarily when I first started writing, it wasn't planned like that. It just happened organically where those questions or that pause is always going on in my life. So I felt great about being able to just give something to the world. But to be honest with you, you guys were one of the major reasons why I finished it, because I, like you said, hey, like you're gonna remember me saying, hey, I'm writing a book. And Ishmael would text me and be like, hey, how's the book going? And Hassan French would text me and be like, hey, what's up with the book? I can't wait to read it. And a lot of you guys, without even knowing, at least 50 or 60 of you guys were hitting me throughout the process. And at that point, I'm like, man, I can't fail these dudes. They're expecting me to finish something. And if I don't, then I'm not going to be a man of my word. And that's honestly, y'all know that's all we got out here, right? So once we get to that point, it was like, okay, well, you start something, you actually got to finish it. And obviously, like what you said, Avery, I don't have something to subtract from my life. This has been an addition. So now I'm trying to multitask and have everything go as fluid as possible. But the process was therapeutic from just being able to get out energy, from your inside and allow positive energy to come back. So the year that the 2021 class, when we didn't have AAU basketball, right? Everybody got to college. Everybody went D1. That was like Big Max, Frank class, like all them dudes, right? Isaiah Thompson. Once all of them dudes was good to go to make it to college, I felt like, oh, this is a home run, right? Because the goal is always the same. Make sure all you guys go to school for free. So once I knew they were gonna get that, I was cakewalk. It was like the time was there. God did that for me. Like, COVID, the calendar stopped in a sense. So great question. I'll go Ishmael. You got one.
My question would be, I know you and me never had any friction during my time playing for PSA, but I want to ask you, what would have made, I don't know, because I know when for myself, there was times where I was like, yo, like, I was thinking about leaving PSA. I didn't want to play for PSA, stuff like that. What do you think could have made our relationship, or because looking back, I super duper appreciate my time at PSA, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And I wish I could go back in terms to really appreciate it and not take it for granted like I did. What do you think could have happened to make our relationship or my experience, or what could have went differently to make it, I guess, so I could have appreciated it more?
Yeah,
That
good question.
question makes sense.
No, it makes sense. I think for me, I should have been more invested in the before we started hooping, right? And obviously I would come up to the school and see you and Rich and James, and it would be more like a group setting when I would come up to McDuffie. I felt like maybe I should have took more time to be like, hey, Ish, talk to me. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what's going on. You know, what's the blockage of our connection to make you be a better player, be a better person, whatever, and be a better coach, right? I think that as the season was going on, I just assumed like, hey, he gonna figure this thing out. And I was being stubborn, right? Like, if you don't do it my way, then I'm just gonna keep it going. And you're gonna be the one to suffer, not me, because we're gonna win games. I think if I could go back again, it would be more so like, hey, more one-on-one time, more phone calls, more texting, more lunches, more dinners, whatever it needed to be, especially in between sessions. Because I think I remember session 1, you was really hooping, right?
Yeah.
So going into it, it probably was more so me saying, hey, what are we trying to do with this? And I think going into it, I was more selfish from the standpoint of, listen, you're not going to break me, I'm going to break you, right? And you're going to still get to college. I think the flip side was more like, hey, man, like, how are you trying to play the game? Are you trying to play the game offensively, or are you trying to play the game to win, right? And it was always that tension of, see, look, I ran something for you. See, look, I started the game with something for you right here, and it didn't go the way you wanted it to. And it was more so me trying to prove you wrong and you trying to prove me wrong, right? Versus,
I agree.
you know, the two of us sitting down and saying, hey, man, let's just put our egos to the side and let's figure this thing out. What both of us are thinking, because we did a lot without talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I apologize for not being more versatile in that space.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, like I said, looking back, I appreciate every moment of it, and I don't regret nothing. But I just looking back, what I learned from playing for you and playing with all the guys, like Isam says, like, yeah, I learned stuff that carried on to when I got to college and forever will carry on me. So like, I appreciate all of that. I just wish, like I said, I could have appreciated it more, and we could have had a better relationship while I was playing with you, playing for you. That makes sense.
All God's plan, man. I'm rolling with it.
That's a fact.
You know?
That's a fact.
Isam, what's your question, baby?
I actually have 2 questions though. Let me ask two questions.
You get one, Isam.
Let me ask 2, bro. I want one about the book and one about PSA.
Isam, you better pick the best one you want. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna ask about the book then. I'm gonna ask about the book. So it's like in part 1 in the book, like you shared a lot of your personal life.
Yeah.
So like I feel like, okay, for me it was like, okay, if I'm writing a book, they're gonna be difficult for me, like, share this information with the people. You know? Like stuff with your mom, like stuff with your ex-girlfriend, or whatever, like stuff that, like this stuff. I feel like did you like think twice before you put this stuff in the book, or like you just want it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, think twice about how the other people gonna feel. Yeah, but the thing is, with me, my mom is like a superhero in my eyes, right? And the way if you read the beginning, it's like, yeah, this is what we went through, which is the reality of our life. Like, we know what we went through, right? But we came out on the other side. Like, if you see my people now, you like, oh, word, that's crazy that's how it started, right? And in order to understand where you are, you got to remember your starting block, right? Like, if somebody's like, oh, man, you only get 6 points a game, but it's like, yeah, but last year I was getting 0.5. That 6 looked like 20, right? So for me, it was, I got to give the world the truth of, this is not just their struggle, it was our struggle, right? Our PSA, right? And some of you guys that come from humble beginnings, or whatever that is, you got to always remember, like, man, that thing was tough, but look at Coach Munch and look where he at now. Because what happens is in the world, people see you at the current. So they don't understand your mindset, right? And your drive and where it came from, because they think if I see you now, you look comfortable, right? But you're not understanding, like, a lot of this comfortability came from the work ethic. Like what Avi said, you always busy, you always working, because you got to remember how it started, right? So you got to have the conversation with people to say, hey, this is what's going to come out. Like, are you okay with that? But you got to frame it in a way that, like, yeah, this is what was going on, but look at her now, right? Like, this was going on with my sister, but she holding it down now. This was going on with my brother when he was young, just like any other human, right? Like, there's gonna be some ups and downs for everybody, right? And if I don't tell you the raw, if I don't rip the Band-Aid off, I don't let you know I fell off the bike, right? Like, yeah, I fell off the bike, but look, now I'm riding this scooter smooth, you know? So you gotta give the people the truth, because in order for it to be therapeutic for me, I gotta put it in the way of, like, truth. You know what I mean? And, like, it could have been a lot harder to read if I really, really, like, you know what I mean? But you try to balance it. So good question. What's your other question?
So my question is, at PSA, it's like you said, I was the man at Luhai. Then like, okay, I come to PSA, and you was straightforward. Like, at first you told me, like, okay, you're gonna be a role player. That's when it comes to 17U, because 16U, I think I was the man there too. My bad, Ish.
You think so, huh? Go ahead.
Oh yeah. To be honest, yeah. But like, you don't, like, sometimes you don't be like thinking, okay, how Isam gonna react to this? Because, okay, me, I can't handle this because, okay, I never question the coach. Like, I know in my head, inside I would say, yeah, he tripping. But it's like, okay, I will show him in the court. That's the type of person I am. Like, okay, I will force you. Okay, if you're not gonna start me, I will force you to start me, or I'll force you to play me more. Like, that's the mentality I got. But you don't, like, you're not be worried, because you recruit great. Like, that's what I said. Like, my team was crazy. So in my head, I was like, yeah, like, okay, he's starting this guy. I'm not even mad because he's good too. Yeah, I think I'm better, but you don't think, like, sometimes, okay, how this person gonna react to this, or how this person gonna react to this, because some people will not take it. Okay, we're gonna leave. Go play for another AU, and especially there's a lot of AUs. Yeah, there's not PSA, but there's a lot of AUs, and most people want to play AU because they want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So,
me, you didn't want me to be as a scorer like as I used to be at Luha. You want me to be a rebounder and play hard. Like, and I understand the role, but how you react to that.
So I think I'm trying to answer your question. So there's two things, right? When you guys are younger, you believe that you only can see the stuff that's going well, right? Like, because you have success in one place, you're like, I automatically can do that because you're confident, right? Confidence can make your game go through the roof. So I'll rewind something and I'll say, all right, do you remember playing James Wiseman?
Yep.
All right. So you're laughing because you know where I'm going. But listen, the things that you can do in a certain offensive space against certain height and length, right? You at that time don't realize I can't do that against James Wiseman. But your confidence is like, I don't care who that is, just give me the ball, right?
Yep.
So your brain was triggered to say, I'm an offensive guy. I'm a 20 and 10 because here I'm 20 and 10. Similar to Ish. Here I'm 18 and 7. I don't care wherever I'm at, I can get those numbers. But when you're young and you're the player, just like when I was, right? We don't see our limitations. We just see what we can do. And because we're not mature enough or experienced enough to see that, we say, oh, it's the coach. But I'm not the one beating your shit up against the backboard. That's James Wiseman, the dude on the Golden State Warriors, right?
Yep.
So at the starting thing, I'll tell you this, and this is weird. Sometimes I let mature guys come off the bench because I know they mentally can handle it. And I let immature dudes start because they think it's important. And if you do math, you start to see the dude coming off the bench is playing more minutes than the dude that's starting. Hence, you and Joel, right? He was always infatuated with, I want to start. And then he would fuck up in 2.7 seconds. And I'll be like, come on, sit back down. Esam, go get him. Max, go get him. So you guys had this four-headed monster in my brain, right? Where it was four of you guys against that one. But James Wiseman is James Wiseman. So
he was crazy, not gonna lie.
Yep. We got a couple minutes. Speed answer. Give me one quick reason why people in your age group should read this book. Avery,
Okay.
you want to go?
Yeah, I go.
Go quick.
I'll just say perspective. You get another perspective from, you know, an older dude who's been through everything we're going through and help people our age get to where they want to be at. You know what I mean? Like people go through you to get to where they want to be at. You know, they seek help from you. So getting perspective and an intellect on another level, just it's always going to be a positive, you know, feedback. So that'll be a quick answer.
So Ishmael.
I'll say similar to Avery. I'll just say, you know, it's learn about someone else's life other than yourself that, you know, it might help you see life through a different lens and just able to, you know, you might not, someone who doesn't come from a humble beginning might be like, you know what, my life isn't that bad. And it might help them see like, you know, it could be a lot worse.
I love that shit, man. Esam.
I mean, they said it all. One thing I would say, like, okay, there's a lot of like success doesn't happen easily. Like, there's a lot of like fall happen. Like, there's a lot of stuff happen that will put you down, but you can't like you never give up. You're always working. You always try to get better and get back up. And I feel like there's a big point was made in that book. Like, look at you now. Like how as you said, like how you started, and like look at you now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I love it. Bonus question. We're going all the way to the limit. Avery Brown. You consider yourself a fashion icon. What would you say makes you the most elite dresser on that college campus at Columbia?
I don't even be think. I just be putting it on. You know what I mean? Like, I think for in terms of fashion, it should just come easy to some people. So I'm just one of those guys. So I mean, I don't even overthink it.
I'm just one of them guys.
Just one of them ones.
All right. Well, I hear you. I hear you. Columbia will be watching and checking you out come tomorrow. Ishmael, bonus question, quick answer. What was the moment you realized PSA was good for you?
It's just, I would say it's just when I first met the team and I met the coaches and I went, when I decided to go to Boo Williams 15U when I was with class, and I went to 15U and I was with Disco Dave, I was with Tyson and all of them, and they just I ain't know none of them, but they accepted me just like I've been with them the whole time, and I just was jumping in, playing, starting right away, and they just accepted me and was showing me love like I've been there the whole time.
All right, we closing it out with this. On 340, on 6 family. All right, on 340, on 6 family. 1, 2, 3.
40.
4, 5, 6.
Family.
I see you guys soon. I love y'all.
Love you too.
That's a vibe.